real close. I think I'm just gonna go to the next size die and finish it properly. Boom. We are there. So I wanted to get that sucked up to that cone, which is where we're at. See how beautiful that is? Woo! That is a pretty, these are some of the prettiest coin rings in the world when they're done. They're so pretty. Inside and out. All the detail. It's great on these. So the next step is we need to stretch this out. So you may or may not be able to see from the angle I have it at, but there's a little tiny nick. Looks like a nick right there, which may or may not become an issue later. And the reasoning behind that is because where this eagle head is cut, that just happens to be one of the bigger gaps where it ends. So it's just a tad bit thinner right there. The metal's just a tiny bit thinner. And you can kind of see that theme along the coin. Wherever there's a bigger bit of detail on the inside where it matches up with the edge, you'll see just kind of a little bit of a nick. So just gotta watch those as we go. I'm gonna heat this up again and we're gonna stretch it out. Make sure my camera's not moving too much on me there. It's pointing down, so I gotta like look way up. I'm looking way up. All right. So here we are. This is what we've got going on. We are going to use the stretcher. This pure silver stretches really easily. There's no wear or tear on the old stretcher from this kind of metal. It's really nice. So as you can see, we stretched it out. It's got kind of a non-ring look to it. It's just kind of flared out there. So let's see where that put us size-wise here. Put us about a 14. Our end goal is going to be an 11. So I don't need to stretch it anymore. We need to do some reduction. Reduce. So I'm going to coat it in a Teflon tape. Well, this is a step you don't normally see because I got to use two hands and the camera normally doesn't catch it. You don't want that in there. Wonder why there's shavings of metal in my tape. But see, something like that, that little piece of metal, if that would have got wrapped up in there, it could have been embedded in the side of the metal. And that would have destroyed the look of the ring. So you gotta be careful and look out for that kind of stuff. I'm going to put it in a Swedish die, and I'm just going to reduce the size of this a tad bit. This won't be pressed down too far because this cylindrical piece I'm using is just going to push it down a tad, and then we'll use the old number 6, call it the old number 6 to finish the process here. Boom, 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 maybe boom. Just trying to reduce the higher side, the top side, the reeded side down, so that it's not flaring like this. It's more just a slight angle like we have. So before we had it kind of going like this, I reduced this top side down. I basically pressed everything in by putting it through this cone. It just pushes everything in. We're going to go just a tad bit further because we have some size to work with. We're going for a size 11. We're at a 13, so we have a little room to work with here. I'm also going to add a reed to the non-reeded side. All right, so I think we're good to go there. Let's go ahead and knock that reed out. Make sure that we're looking good here. You always want to take the tape off and inspect the coin because the tape can be deceptive. Just want to make sure that we have a flat line going across there, which it looks like we do. We don't want any bowing because that'll affect it later. So I'm going to use this. It's called a re-reader. I don't know if you can see that. Re-reader. Center it on here. And we're going to basically just put a reed on this side. Give it a little push, rotate it. A little push, rotate it. And the final push. And let's see what that looks like. See that? See how that added a sweet reed? So now we have double reeds. Now we can finish this up. So we're sitting at about a size 12.5. I'm actually, because I ran that through the reader and I pressed it down, it kind of shaped the ring a little differently. It's a real soft metal, so it did press this down a little bit more, so you can see now it's kind of got a slope to it. So we're going to put this back into the Swedish die just to flatten that back out. And we could probably go to the smallest one and go to the old number 7. And I'm not going to go too far. About there should be good. Let's see where that is size wise. We're at about a 12, which is fine. So now we're going to size it. So I always find the right die. It looks like in this die, the smaller side is pressed almost all the way down. There's just a tiny gap. So we're gonna basically just press the biggest side all the way down. You can see there's about I would say maybe an 1/8 of an inch gap there. We're gonna get rid of that gap. Just press it all the way down. That'll make this side pretty close to where this side was. If we press this side all the way down, then both outsides, diameter wise, will be equal. So boom. So ring size or shape should be really nice now. So as you can see, we've got a beautiful shape. Now we want to go for size. Our end goal is a size 11. On the inside here, this is the reeded side, the original reeded side. It hasn't been stretched, it hasn't really been manipulated much, so there's a lot more meat on the inside here, and that's about a size worth of metal that we need to get rid of. If I don't get rid of that, the only thing holding the ring on the finger would be this outer lip, and that would be uncomfortable for the customer. So you can almost see by looking through that there's just a little bit more metal on this side here. So we're going to get rid of that using a deburring tool, and this just basically hits that little edge and makes metal flakes.